If you want authentic jerseys for less than half the price of the NBA store, make sure to hit up Pristine Jerseys. The link is in the description. Use my code BADGEPLUG at checkout. As you see, you can get NBA jerseys, throwback jerseys, shorts, all types of stuff. Make sure to click the link in the description. Let's get into the video. Welcome back, Plug Nation. It's your boy Badge Plug, and today, man, I got for you the last top 5 best builds on NBA 2K21 current gen. Unless 2K drops some sort of gameplay patch that really changes the game, these are going to be the last best builds in the game. Now, just like usual, I'm going to give away on this video $50 of Xbox and PS4 gift cards. All you have to do is drop a like. Once we get to 5,000 likes, I will make the next video showing you all how to make every single one of these builds the best way possible. So hit that subscribe button, that way you don't miss out on that. And also make sure to realize that when I make this video showing you all how to make these builds, like I said, they will be the best version of that one. So if you just look up what I'm saying, you will probably find a decent version of the build, but I'm going to show you guys how to make it, in my opinion, the best way possible. And also, this is going to be the most overpowered builds. There's a difference in my build videos between most overpowered and best builds, meaning if you're really good at the game, then that build will be actually better than an overpowered build. You see what I'm saying? So I make 2 different types of best build videos. These are going to be most overpowered, so you're going to be able to go to the park and be really good right away with these builds. All right, the top 5 best build on NBA 2K21 is the secondary ball handler. It's a very rare build that would be much higher on the list if we did a best builds with skill video, because this one is a very tall ball handler. It's like 6'8", and you can do all types of crazy stuff. You can be max weight so that every single person you're guarding is going to be clamped up, but at the same time you're going to bully them on offense. Now, the reason why it's not a little bit higher, like I said, it would be higher on the best builds video, is because it takes a bit more skill than, let's say, like a playmaking shot creator, because you don't get as much shooting badges, you get a little bit lower of a three-pointer, and you really have to work in the build. You got to grind it out a little bit and stuff like that. So that is a very good build. I've already made a video on it earlier in the year, and it's one of my favorite builds on 2K21 in total. Like, it's an amazing build. But number 4 is a sharpshooting facilitator. This is a build that, if made correctly, is basically a very tall playmaking shot creator, like 6'6", 6'7", depending on how you want to make it. Remember that. But one thing about it is you don't have to grind it out a lot if you make it 6'6". If you make it 6'7", it's, in my opinion, the best at 6'7", but you do have to grind it out more to get, let's say, the pro dribble moves and stuff like that at the 80 ball handling. So this build is extremely good. It's basically, like I said, a tall playmaking shot creator. And if you guys don't know, man, if you're new to the channel, obviously, hit that subscribe button if you're new. But every year, 2K19, 2K20, towards the end of the year, I really start to fall in love with these tall builds that can do things very similar to the small builds that people are using. It's just a little bit more skill to be able to use it. That way, on both sides of the ball, think about it. At 6'7", most builds in this game, the playmaking shot creators, that's the most common build in the game, are 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". You're 4 inches taller than the average, like the highest average playmaking shot creator. Then on defense, guess what? You're still 4 inches taller. So on offense and defense, you are a straight mismatch. You see what I'm saying? Almost every person that guards you is going to be at a mismatch, which is going to give you an advantage over rebounds, defense, offense. You're going to have more wingspan, so in lanes you're going to get more steals and everything like that. I mean, you just can't lose. You can't lose with a taller build as long as you have a little bit more skill to put on top of it, because every single year when you have a little bit of a taller build, you got to like give up some badges, give up some attributes, stuff like that. But on current gen, they actually make it to where you don't have to lose out on a lot, unlike on next gen where you have to be a power forward 6'7" to like really maximize the builder, potential. So number 3 is a pure slasher. Now, it's not a pure slasher in the terms that it can only slash and stuff like that. This is one of the best builds in the game. In my opinion, is the all-around best build on NBA 2K21. I'm talking about all around, not the best build, but all around. You can get contact dunks on it. Most of the builds are around 6'5", 6'6" on top of that. So once again, a tall build that can dominate. But you're going to need a little bit more skill than a playmaking shot creator, because in this game, you can't really shoot unless you have a high three-point rating. And, you know, unless you're timing the shots perfectly, like every single time, you see what I'm saying? You have to have at least like an 83 pointer. So this build gets around like 80, 85 3-pointer once it's maxed out. And it can also get contact dunks. So it's basically, if you know how to time your shot correctly and you got hot spots and jump shot boost and everything like that, it's basically a playmaking shot creator that can get contact dunks, is taller, and has more defense. But we all know, at the end of the day, the very end of the day, the most important thing is getting the ball in the bucket. Like I said, in this game, unless you have high shooting ratings, it's hard to efficiently put the ball in the basket. So it depends on your skill. That's why this is the most overpowered build video. This is going to have a higher three-pointer than the last two builds that we talked about. Plus, it's going to be like 1 to 2 inches shorter. So obviously, you know, you get more ratings there and stuff like that with the contact dunk. So you don't have to just shoot. You can go down and contact dunk on centers and stuff. And especially in this game, centers, they stand in the paint all day. They're literally asking to get contact dunked, but no builds can contact dunk. You see what I'm saying? The average build on this game is one that does not contact dunk. So when you have one, it's going to throw them off, and they have to really change up their game plan. Now, this is going to surprise a lot of you, maybe, but number 2 is the playmaking shot creator at 6'3". This is the build that I created at the very beginning of the year, and for a long time was the #1 most overpowered best build in the game. Now keep in mind, when I say most overpowered and best builds, how there's a difference, a lot of them are pretty similar at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Like at the top of the list, it's going to be pretty similar. So the 6'3" playmaking shot creator gets 25 shooting badges. At least mine does, right? A lot of people made theirs with like 23 and stuff like that. But this build, I mean, you guys know, in this game, you need shooting. It's got Hall of Fame shooting badges, it's got Hall of Fame playmaking badges, and it has 25 shooting badges, but it has no finishing. See what I'm saying? So you can't necessarily cook up super hard like the slasher, but you can, because you get Hall of Fame shooting badges, you get the Hall of Fame Deadeye, you get more badges to be able to really cook up and shoot, and that's what everyone does at the comp stage. Now, every best build is going to go by how the players in comp stage play at the most competitive way that Park has played. I'm not talking about Rec or Pro-Am or anything like that, but obviously, you know, they're pretty similar. Just like, you know, how we're talking about the best builds and most overpowered. They're very similar. Sometimes you can put one a little bit over the other depending on the game mode. But how they play in the comp stage at the, 5K court, they've got a lockdown, pure lockdown on a build, and they still have to score. They use the best builds in the game. They do that for a reason. You see what I'm saying? Just like the people that are guarding them, the pure lockdowns, use the best pure lockdown build. Now, after I say #1, we're going to have 2 extras because I didn't have any centers on the list, but it's very obvious kind of which 2 those are. #1 is another playmaking shot creator, but this is one that's going to take you a bit more skill, and also it's going to be a little bit more, how do I say it? You have to run the right lineup. So people in comp stage, they run the right lineup. This is a 6'1" playmaking shot creator. So this build is excellent on offense. The best offensive build in the game. But if you're not playing threes and you don't have someone to help you grab the ball and pick up for the ball handler that's taking the ball down the court, you're going to be at a severe mismatch, and you'd be better off with like a 6'3" play shot. So in the comp stage, they use a 6'1" play shot, which is extremely fast, and it's got great shooting badges and stuff, just like the 6'3" play shot, but just a little bit better. A little bit. And I'm telling you, it's actually a lot, but it's a little bit. You see what I'm saying? It's a build that is unstoppable in the right hands on offense, but if you don't have someone, and especially if you're playing twos, you'd probably rather have the 6'3". And if you're playing threes and don't have someone to pick up the ball handler, then you're not going to want that build. You're going to want to be with a 6'3" or 6'4" play shot, or any of the other builds on the list. You see what I'm saying? So the extras is a paint beast, the pure red pie chart paint beast, basically a pure lockdown at center. It's been the best center build in the entire game the whole year. And the last one is going to be a post scorer. Yes, the post scores. I mean, you can't just not have a post scorer on the list. It's super overpowered. Everybody knows the post scorer is so overpowered. That's why a lot of people don't use it, because it's just not fun. You put yourself at such a huge advantage, and people just post hook, post hook, post hook. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a build that people stray away from using, but has came back a little bit this year from, you know, being a little bit popular on TikTok and making YouTubers rage and stuff like that. But every year the post scorer is extremely overpowered since 2K17. You know what I'm saying? 2K doesn't patch it, and I honestly believe, like, you can't hate on it because it's in the game every single year. Like, you can't just be like, you can't not put it on a list of best builds when it's literally one of the most overpowered builds in 2K history. Like, if you know a post scorer that has the aiming down and, you know, they know how to use that Zen or not, like, you can hit, like, I don't know, you guys might have seen a minute ago, I was playing with a post scorer, he was hitting 60%, 70%, and you can see the little bar moving too. You can see it moving. He doesn't have his in, it doesn't just lock straight on into the middle. It's crazy how overpowered they are. So you got to put them on the list, even though a lot of people don't want to make them because they're that easy. See what I'm saying? Anyway, it's your boy Badge Plug. You've been plugged in. Make sure to drop a like if you haven't yet. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And also, guys, I will be dropping how to make these videos and, you know, how to make these builds at the best way possible as soon as we get to 3,000 likes. Okay, so get this video to 3,000 likes, and I'm out. Peace.